warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Hamizah Mukhtar. Today I would like to present our research about challenges and experiences of online teaching for full-time lecturers in UiTM with studying part-time. Agenda include introduction, literature review or background of study, methodology, results and discussion, as well as conclusion. As the introductions, postgraduate study, including master and PhD in Malaysia, have gone through significant changes. Under its minister, Datuk Sri Noraini Ahmad, Malaysia aims to become the global hub for higher education by 2025. The number of postgraduate students at public and private university has also increased tremendously. Some of the reasons include easy access to scholarship or study loans, the effects of COVID-19 pandemic on the economy, so most of people hoping for better career opportunities, and university success in promoting lifelong learning by introducing well-thought academic program. The statement by Higher Education Minister, the enrollment for Master PhD in year 2021 is increased by 16.9%, whereas for PhD degree increased 44% compared to year 2020. As of August 30, 2022, the statistics shown that from the official website of UiTM, UiTM had produced 34,565 graduates with masters and also PhD degrees. This amount includes enrollment from local and also international. Lecturers actually play an important role in educating and training students in university. The importance of lecturer in holding higher postgraduate qualification is deemed necessary as part of lifelong learning and preparing to share advanced knowledge with the students and progress well in their own career. Increasing trends of lecturer with enroll in PhD year by year ensure that they are still relevant and can contribute to the body of knowledge. And also, PhD is actually the minimum requirement for the lecturer to progress in academic line. Therefore, this study aims to identify the challenges faced by full-time lecturer in completing their PhD journey by studying part-time. So we collect the feedback from the respondent through interview, and also the challenges will be discussed. This study also mentioned about how the students did to overcome the challenges. The outcome of this study actually can be as a reference for new lecturers who plan to further their studies part-time. Some of the literature review. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, many universities have changed or switched the delivery method from face-to-face to online, or we can call as online distance learning or open distance learning, ODL. Positively, ODL allow greater flexibility for the lecturer to arrange their classes that suit any unforeseen circumstances due to the pandemic and ease the student to obtain the online resources, for example, recording teaching video and also notes. Although there are many benefits of ODL, distance is still a critical limitation that can hinder the learning process. The limitation of participation from students is one of the reasons that students are easily distracted by external elements at home. Besides, the challenges of ODL is for laboratory classes and teamwork activity because it is difficult to conduct online. As a part-time PhD student, those lecturers also will face challenges in both situations. As lecturer, they must ensure active participation of their student, while as a research student or PhD student, they will face problem to access the laboratory for experimental work and also collection of data. Okay, other than that, the lecturer who doing a study part-time, they need to balance studying and working. Other than tuition fees and the cost of buying study material, they also need to bear for cost for accommodation, food, and travels. So this obstacle may hinder some other lecturer to further their study at the postgraduate levels. However, there are some companies might offer to fund their staff to further study. So in Malaysia, we actually have option. Either we need to use scholarship or fund for further study using our own funding. However, funding for further postgraduate study is actually limited because to get the scholarship, you need to undergo English exam and also interview. Other than being unable to secure findings, personal matter also could be the reason why some of the lecturer not choosing scholarship as the funding. Okay, other factor is the lecturer do not want to lose their seniority for career progression. Okay, working while studying part-time will actually cause a lot of physical, mental, and also economic stress, especially for those who already have commitment, married, and also have kids. One study from United Kingdom found that the stress level of these postgraduate students is significantly high compared to the general population. Okay, some of the issue rise is self-confidence, lack of social support, poor work-life balance, which lead to anxiety and depression. Therefore, the study suggests that university and also supervisor should develop support network and discuss with those uh, postgraduate to overcome their self-confidence and hence promote a balanced lifestyle. Okay, another study locally from IIUM found that many postgraduate students at the university had experience working while attending classes. They appeared to comprehend the significance of working while learning and also its effects. Working while attending university has both positive and negative effects. Therefore, advice and suggestion for students who must work while they are in school include they should be dedicated, disciplined, responsible, and the most important is having effective time management. Okay, most of the working students struggle to balance employment and education, especially when sometimes their schedule could be overlapped. Students who believe their jobs are time intensive also believe that this interferes with the academic performance. Additionally, disrupted are the mental and emotional component, particularly after receiving a reprimand, that would cause people to overthink potential bad outcome in study and also working situation. Okay, and then the absence of financial and moral support from working students, immediate families is another factor that could affect the balance between studying and working. Okay, let's move to methodology. Okay, the study on the challenges faced by full-time lecturer in completing their journey with studying part-time was carried out using interview technique. This research method is appropriate for issue requiring complex questioning and considerable probing. And this method is also widely used as a method for qualitative research. A semi-standardized interview was chosen for this study. So we have a design of less structured and flexible question that permits the spontaneous issue raised by the interviewee. Okay, this method also can encourage the interviewee to voluntarily contribute detailed information rather than just answer the structured question. Therefore, problems are explored from individual perspective. Okay, in designing the interview protocol, the various target population were identified. So we choose target population is the individuals who are directly involved with applying for part-time study while working full-time as a lecturer in UiTM. Okay, we have two open-ended questions being asked to the interviewee. The first one is, what are the challenges faced while teaching online during the semester and studying simultaneously? Second question is, what step do you take to overcome the challenges? If the interviewee could not elaborate on the question, the interviewer will ask a follow-up question. Okay, and then the interview's discussion are summarized and given to the interviewee for validation. Okay, next is data analysis. The qualitative data that obtained from the interview session was analyzed using thematic analysis. So in this thematic analysis, we have 6 phases. It will start with familiarizing the data obtained from respondent during the interview session. And then phase number 2, the initial code was generated. This is to organize systematically and potentially relevant to the question. And then third phase, coded data are examined to identify the similarities and also the overlap factor or overlap challenges. Okay, and then fourth phase, the potential themes required review by referring to other relevant documentation and also guideline. Okay, in the fifth phase, the themes were commencing and naming to the independently coded answer accordingly. Okay, lastly, we will produce the report of analysis. Okay, here go the framework of the research methodology. So we start with data collection from the interview, and then thematic analysis that include the 6 phase, and the output will be challenges of full-time lecturers studying part-time. Okay, so we have 15 respondents here, and we also record the year studying part-time and also number of position hold while working. Okay, and then we can come up with this overview of the challenges by full-time lecturer while studying part-time. So you can see here the challenges working full-time while studying part-time are divided into two main category, which is internal challenges and also external challenges. Internal challenges include ineffective time management, writing problems, insufficient funds, and also feeling demotivated. Whereas for external, we have family commitment, teaching commitment, consuming time preparing online module, and lastly, excessive holding of position in institution. So from this, we should know which challenges is dominant or the most challenged by all the respondents. Okay, so this table shows the results. So we can see here from the internal team, 9 respondents agree that ineffective time management is the most vital challenges in completing their studying, followed by writing problems, 3 respondents. Okay, next is for externals. We can see here the most challenge in the external team is teaching commitment, where 4 of the respondents agree that teaching commitment is the highest challenges, followed by consuming time preparing online modules. So during ODL, the lecturer need to prepare for recorded video assessment, so they need more time preparing the online class. Okay, let's see on the factor one by one. First one is ineffective time management. The lecturer commitment to focus on part-time study is quite limited due to they have the teaching workload, and also they have to complete the administration works, handling or attending compulsory program. Okay, so example of respondent summary. Respondent 1 mentioned that my class ends after working days until 6 p.m. and sometimes I need to replace the class at night, so it is tiring for them. Besides, respondent number 1 have toddler to handle. Okay, and then they need to find a research grant as the university KPI. Okay, next is writing problems. As a student, they must publish a high impact journal to comply the university requirement. So when writing a high impact journals, they need more time to read the literature review and assessing the phase of development on a particular research question, and then they need to find the gap of the research. Okay, so they need more time to focus on writing the articles. Respondent number 2 say that it is difficult to focus. The writing process become pending during the semester. The writing process actually need consistent reading and writing at least 1 hour daily to ensure that I'm always on track. But actually, respondent 2 cannot make it. Okay, we move to insufficient fund. So, the full-time lecturing and part-time studying give some advantage in terms of personal finance because they have paid for their for their work. So, of course, this part-time studying can afford to uh, pay the tuition fee. However, it is different for students with high commitment because they need to pay for bank loan, family expenses, and to pay the study fee. Okay, respondent number 11 elaborate that I use my own money to pay study fee, obtain sample at a laboratory to collect the data, and paid for the conference fee to publish my article. So they need much money along the study journey. Okay, next one is feeling demotivated. This feeling demotivated is actually can uh, become increase due to the slow progress. Okay, it is common to feel demotivated or lose interest because of the progression issue or stress. However, students need to solve the feeling as soon as possible to get back on track by maybe meditation, yoga. Okay, respondent 13 elaborate that I felt demotivated every time I had a meeting with my supervisor. This is because uh, they don't have any progress to report. So sometimes it took quite a while to collect the data and lost for no reason. So the student might be burning out and exhausted. Okay, next challenges is family commitment. Of course, family is the most common challenge. Uh, because we have to balance family and also studying and also working. Usually, uh, they start spending their time with family as a bonding time after working hours. Okay, tight time lead to restless condition and makes them unable to focus or spend little time on studying. Respondent 1 agree that the family commitment is one of the challenges because respondent number 1 have 3 toddler, so he must prepare their dinner and shower after returning from nursery. And then teaching commitment. Respondent number 6 mentioned that uh, he temporarily served on another campus. So he need to teach on campus Shah Alam and also prepare administration work at UITM Pahang. Okay, while respondent number 9 revealed that there is a public holiday in the midweek during class, but they need to use the time for replacement class. Okay, why? Because at night the respondent have kids, so it cannot replace the class during the weekend or during the night time. Okay, and then consuming time preparing online modules. Okay, this one mentioned earlier when the lecturer need to prepare the recorded video assessment. So respondent number 14 mentioned that online assessment are tough for me as I am teaching laboratory class, so more time is required to find reliable sources to make sure that the assessment is equivalent to the assessment before the MCO. And then respondent number 15 also agree that they need extra time to spend for preparing the online module rather than to go to the face-to-face class. Okay, and then excessive holding of side position. Of course, when you are working, you are eligible to hold a position and have lots of administration work. Okay, so they also need to prepare document for accreditation requirement, documentation for university, collaboration to achieve the KPI and also the university requirement. So for respondent number 4, I need to hold a high management post. Some of the friends also post more than one as a committee member. Okay, and then the respondent number 4 are also struggling to prepare some of documentation for accreditation. Okay, we have moved to the conclusion. The challenges of studying part-time while working as a full-time lecturer in this study were identified by conducting the interviews with 15 lecturers. So the findings have categorized into two contribution factors, which is internal and also external. Time constraint play a prominent role in completing their PhD on time with consistent progress. And then for external, teaching commitment become the main reason respondents felt challenges compared to family commitment, consuming the preparing online modules, and also excessive holding of site position. Thus, this study contribute to the existing knowledge and challenges faced by a full-time lecturer who choose to study as a part-time student by providing a set of obstruction factor lists as a reference for new lecturer who plan to further their study part-time. So here, the new lecturers that want to study part-time need to focus and prepare more on the time constraint and also the teaching commitment. Okay, some of the reference that we use for this study. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you very much for your time. Assalamualaikum.